Hello, once again, happy Easter. I'm not going to go into detail or go into this Holy Ghost spirit, whatever you may think of. So right now we're going to talk about OCD. OCD, kind of to sum it up, when you think of OCD people, naturally you already automatically think of someone that wants their house clean or wants certain things a certain way, or they suffer from anxiety, or they maybe even suffer from depression. You have your assumptions, your thoughts, whatever you may case may be. But when you think of anxiety, or it goes into anxiety, but when you think of OCD, like I said, you think of anxiety, but it's an obsession and it becomes compulsive. So when you think about it, it's recurrent, intrusive thoughts. So did I lock the door? Did I do this? Did I make my bed correctly? Or for me, one thing that, you try not to diagnose yourself, but you think of, man, like, let me go back and check, did I make sure my dog is in the house after I did this from taking them out? Or today, prime example, before we went to my family's dinner, sorry I keep grabbing my hair, it's fresh, but I said, let me go back. I literally drove back to make sure my dog was in the house and that everything was off the stove. But that's just kind of what people's assumptions, but it can be actually true. But when you think of this, your obsessions become compulsive when your actions reduce anxiety from obsessions or impact your daily life. When you think of it impacting your daily life, like, did I do this? Did I do that? What does that take from? So one fact that I did take from the video is 3% of population, men and women, suffer from OCD. And it starts at your childhood, early teens. Or teens. It's not a such thing as early teens, I feel like. Teens are teens. Once you hit that 10 to 11, 12. But that's kind of what OCD is. I don't know if I'll make it to 5 minutes just because this video is very straightforward. It's not too much to it. So when you think of that, you just think of OCD. You think, okay, that's kind of what it is. Like, that's what it looks like for me. And that's kind of where we come from. But for the DSM-5 obsessions, it becomes time consuming. It affects of a substance or a medical condition. So when you think of it, you think of a medical condition, or you think it's not. It's not. It's straightforward. It's kind of what it presents, what it says, straight, like in DSM TR5 or in these videos. It's straightforward. The video basically stated what I just said. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna have 5 minutes of this because this video was straightforward, and like I said, it's not too much to it. But what I will say is that the cause of it is unknown. It could be possibly genetics, environmental, identicals, which you see in twins more often than non-identical. I say that because from example, my mom, she's a twin, and my auntie she has an intellectual disability. Mom has said everything in a certain way. From the video, how it explains it, I wouldn't diagnose anybody, but my mom has been diagnosed with OCD, and she has to have the iron in a certain way. So does my dad. I think they just learned this from each other. Also, my dad did. Clothes have to be folded a certain way. Things have to be done a certain thing. Treatments are psychotherapy, cognitive and behavioral therapy, exposure and response. So when you think of exposure therapy, you think we haven't got into that, but from my understanding, exactly what it says, exposure therapy. But I don't want to speak on something that I'm not familiar with, so I want to be respectful to other people's theories and things. But medication also helps with OCD. I don't see many people that present with OCD in my field or what I'm specifically working with, but from what I learned from the videos, what I stated, and I want to say happy Easter once again, and I hope you all enjoy your day. Thank you. Have a great day.